This is Congress News for the week of March 14th, 2021. At last, the day has arrived. Knock number 2 will blast into our churches and the lives of Congress saints on Sunday, 21st March 2021. That's right, knock number 2 will be on Sunday, 21st March 2021. As word of the date spreads across the earth, the Spirit of God is already sweeping into the hearts of the saints and the hearts of our churches. Massive mobilization is underway in the heavenly realms and across the planet with this announcement.
Dr. Woodruff, in a memo to oversight coordinators, development facilitators, and senior elders of the Congress, said, "This knock will be very different from knock number 1. It will be more powerful and more beautiful in the eyes of the Lord."
So we're going into knock number 2, every single one of you with a sense that you are a full functional partner in doing this, that you are taking a God-ordained place, that when you stand in knock number 2, you're standing in a location that no one else can fill. That's your spot. That's where God called you to stand. And that spot has to be filled by you with your faith and with your sound and with your joy. And we're going to do that in knock number 2.
Dr. Woodruff has called for full participation from everyone on the day of knock number 2. He stressed, no saint of the Congress must be missing in action. God wants to hear the unique voice of each and every saint.
Preparation for the knock begins long in advance. Hundreds of persons from every corner of the earth, speaking various languages, working across different time zones, are already collaborating to make sure all systems necessary to support knock number 2 are ready.
Dr. Woodruff's Executive Attaché Bevel Wooding, a GCT Global Director, explains.
The knock is a global event, tracked by saints of the Congress from all over the world, in different languages, in different geographies. And teams in the GCT have been working since the end of knock number 1 to prepare the systems that are needed for knock number 2. Now these involve hundreds of persons from every corner of the earth speaking various languages, working across different time zones with various levels of skills.
But always with high levels of commitment, sacrifice, and faith to do the will of the Lord.
Congress Translation Hubs, Congress Media Teams, Congress Music Factory, GCT Core Services, Congress Broadcasting and News teams have all been mobilized and are hard at work to get the systems for knock number 2 ready.
Dr. Woodruff's Executive Attaché, Marlon Jameson, a GCT Global Director, explains the translation process.
A set of global teams have been activated to support the very important work of translating not just the content but the exactness of the unique spiritual essence of the knock number 2 impartation. A translation in our world is much more than simply translating words from one language into another. A lot has to go in to capture the spiritual impartation, the nature of the spiritual impartation of any resource, and this is particularly important for the knock 2 event that is coming shortly. The process of global translation, of Congress Global Translation for knock number 2 is currently taking place in 40 languages in order to enable our Congress to have a seamless experience in God.
The teams are creating the translation assets, music tracks, worship songs, video and audio files, guidelines, feedback forms, and other resources that will help facilitate the knock experience.
You can track knock number 2 by visiting congressknock.org or by following at CongressWBN on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember, you can also share how you are preparing for knock on View of Our World on Congress Workplace.
Let's all play our part as knock number 2 approaches. Remember the date, Sunday 21st March 2021. Let's march together as one global civilization before the Lord in humility, faith, purity, oneness, and of course, with great joy as Congress WBN gets ready to knock.
And that was your Congress news for the week of March 14th, 2021, and we are ready to knock.
We are ready to knock.
We are ready to knock.